bitchy, and cold-hearted, so they're projecting onto you. They're greedy, bitchy, and cold-hearted, so you know who I'm talking about. They don't want you to receive this 10 of Pentacles. This 10 of Pentacles, 5 on the timer when I said that, nice. 5 means change, and 5 means big change, and because money came out, big change to your money, so somebody here is getting a windfall of abundance. Someone from somebody that's frugal and does not want to give this to you.
Good morning.
This is a cycle ending. It's like they're being forced to give you this money.
Cycle ending. I want this fucking cycle to end. I'm so tired of this Earth Angel project. I mean, I love this Earth Angel project, but I fucking am so tired of these karmic heifers. The most greediest, lustful, jealous bitches ever. Like, go fucking heal already. I am so tired. I love this project. I really, really do. Even the hard parts, like digging into religions and digging into politics and all that stuff. But I learn, and it helps me to have so much more compassion for people. But the little petty parts where you're, you know, this Earth Angel is having to deal with people that she doesn't deserve her inheritance, she's dumb, she's blah, 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 blah. Oh my God, I'm so fucking over that. I'm so fucking over that. And yes, that is fictional in this, or for entertainment purposes only, narration. But in real life, like, that's why I don't talk to people. That's why I am like solo dolo. That's why, and I am so much better and happier a person for that, because I've learned to love myself and not give zero fucks. That's why I love this project, and I'm grateful for it, because I give zero fucks about what people think about me. And I'm just really tired, though, of covering those evil cunts. And I'm trying to be better, so I hope they heal. I really hope they get everything that they deserve. You know, that's where we're at in the Earth Angel project. Last night, yesterday was kind of tough for me, I'm not gonna lie. I had a little bit of I was working on the religion part of the Earth Angel project, and the first part of the day was really good. I had come here, Pancho, Morgue official. He's one of the dude. Not right. Not. Oh, Pancho wants to walk exactly where. Put the phone up. Hold on. Let me light up my Palo Santo and cleanse the energy. I had a really good one. It was really crazy, kind of talking about religions and spirituality. And oh, thank you, Pancho. Thanks. Chihuahuas. There we go. Okay. Spirituality and oh, I love this smell. We're talking about how you know, religions hijacked what Jesus was. This is for entertainment purposes only, but I fully believe this. Religions hijacked exactly what Christ was trying to tell us, which is that we are all a part of God. We are of royal DNA, that we do not need religions and motherfuckers telling us. I don't think he said motherfuckers, but he was a little bit more classy than I am. But you know, he like, if he lived, it's really funny. He does these AI things, and it's like Jesus coming in. He said, like, if he knew now, if he were to speak up now as to what's going on, like Fox News would be like, this anti-fascist brown guy, you know, and he has like a clip of a Fox News host and how, like, but as funny as it is, it's freaking hilarious how people would justify, he's a social commie, he's a brown guy, he's an immigrant, he's this and that, and that they would probably kill him. And that's so fucking true. If you look at the way the world is now and how opposite people are, this world really is very fucking backwards. Very fucking backwards. What's right is wrong and what's wrong is right. And, you know, last night I spent some time, after doing that, I decided to watch, you know, I posted a podcast about surviving Mormonism, and I hadn't watched the show yet, but I liked the podcaster. You know, she helped me through my growth of coming out of Mormonism and stuff, and the cultural things that I had to deal with. And And so I didn't really, because I was judgmental, I'm not gonna lie. It's done by one of the women, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and I almost didn't do it because of that. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of the Housewives series anymore. Like, they've really turned very, very trashy. And but I did watch one season, and I liked this one. I liked Heather. She looks a little bit more different than the others. She wasn't like the crazy, skinny, tiny blonde mom. And she, at the beginning, was like kind of, although she wasn't Mormon, she didn't claim to be. She came from family royalty that was. But I related to her because, you know, she was a single mom in a Mormon community and people didn't know what to do with her. And I could relate to that. You don't have much of a purpose when you're not breeding and you're not married. So I didn't, you know, in the podcast, they talked about how there's a trend right now on TikTok where I guess Mormons are making fun of surviving Mormonism. Like, oh, I didn't bring the cookies to the war bake sale. And I was like, oh, that's kind of immature. And then I decided to watch the program last night because I was tired of working with this Earth Angel novella and these fucking heifers that are just bitches working on black magic and still trying. And in this Earth Angel novella, we're dealing with like the evil cabal who are, it's really interesting. I wish people would listen, and I know most people won't because it's tarot, but it's a really cool storyline. It's not anything demonic or anything like that. It's just been telling this story about how the evil cabal, people in higher ups, you know, they bank on us not believing in magic. Of course, this is a fictional story, and I was one of those people that didn't believe in magic. Or I take that back, because my grandma raised me. You know, I used to do the egg cleanse, and she would do the sana colita de arana, and she would talk about entities that she had actually, like, even saw at the dance with the guy with the hoofs. Like, our old ancestors have stories that are supernatural, and as crazy as they sounded, we believed them. But as we've gotten older, we've gotten very detached from the supernatural. And after the satanic panic, everyone's kind of like, oh, that's all bullshit. But in reality, in this story that I'm telling, it's about very prominent and high-level people that have actually dabbled and do things that are dark arts and dark magic, and they bank on the fact that we don't really believe in it anymore. And religions teach us, don't you dare learn about that, don't you dare understand that, don't you dare go that way, when the religions in this fictional story are actually doing it. Case in point, the Mormon Church, who is actually a Masonic church, and this is true. Joseph Smith was a high-level Mason. Joseph Smith was a fucking con man. Joseph Smith was arrested for conning people, and he was total MAGA in the beginning. So was his evil cohort, Brigham Young. And these fuckers have monuments and have a whole, it just makes me sick to my stomach that people worship these cunts and they're evil. He was tarred and feathered because he raped a 14-year-old, and the brothers tarred and feathered him, not because he was such a beautiful religious man. Fuck him. The whole reason polygamy happened was because his wife caught him with the 14-year-old that they were fostering at their home, that he had fake married. So they're evil people. This is true. These are actual facts that you can look up if you're brave enough. But the church won't tell you that. They'll just tell you it's the only true church, and this motherfucker, they claim, was a prophet. A prophet. The one closest to God, kind of like the Catholics, right? They put themselves above the Catholic Church. We're the only true church on earth. And we're the richest church, or close to the richest church. Almost 300 billion, 3.5 billion, almost 400 billion. It's something ridiculous. They're not saving worlds. They're not doing that kind of shit. That's all true. Okay? in this Earth Angel novella, the story that I've been telling for 2 years, that's been quite emotional, is that they're also, besides being the most vile church and deceiving church, hiding behind Christ, they do these rituals. They actually do baptisms for the dead. All the temple works, all those beautiful temples that they have, people are getting married in them the first time, or getting their endowments to go on their mission. But after that, they go once a month to do rituals on dead people. That is a true fucking story. Now, if it was for a good God, that would be great, right? But even then, no, because it's like, why would you do temple work, physical temple work, use your vessel and do rituals and hand signs without someone's consent? Oh, well, they can choose whether. No, bullshit. That's bullshit. It's not right. Consent is a huge deal. And it's vile what that church does. That is true. In my story, in what I have dreamed, I have dreamt of prophets. I have had this story, this Earth Angel story in my mind since I was a kid. And it scared the shit out of me, is that it is a very dark church. And there is a dark faction. There are beautiful people there. There are beautiful memories that I have had from it, but there are very dark things and reasons and rituals that, and they really do have the blood oath covenant. They talk about ripping your tongue out and releasing your bowels if you ever tell, just like the Masons do, if you ever tell what happens in the temple. That is not Christ-like. That isn't. I don't care how much and most people don't even fucking understand it. So, hello, handsome boy. Come sit with me. Come sit with me, my handsome boy. Oh, these are my handsome punchitos. Is he not the best boy? He's like, you're getting all riled up, mama. I don't have much time, so lay here if you want. So, anyway, I've been exposing that in my Earth Angel project. And, you know, it's hard because it is based on real things. So even though it's a fictional story, it feels real. And it is real to me. Like, do I believe that they do dark things, that it is tied to, you know, a dark God? Yes, I do. I know it in my soul. I know it's fictional. I can't prove it, right? But yesterday was confirmation, man. You know, for a place that calls itself the only true church, and you have to do all these ordinances and pay tithe. She did such a good job on this show. You know, they believe in 3 levels of heaven, and in order for you to enter, you have to go through these bishop interviews, and you have to pay 10%. If you do not pay 10%, you cannot go to heaven, which is fucking bullshit. You cannot go to the celestial kingdom. Where there you will be able to have multiple wives, and you will have your own world. They are the God makers. They do believe that. And the crazy thing is, there's a little bit of truth to what they teach you. Like, I am a child of God. And that's how the whole evil cabal runs, right? Even, I mean, you think of MAGA, there's a little bit of truth about the Epstein files. There's a little bit of truth in the QAnon. Never mind that the people that are telling you about the evil cabal are the ones participating in it, like Trump and his buddies. So that's kind of what the Mormon church is. And so that's heavy for me, because I was born and raised in that church, and it is hard to come to terms with that. It's been something that it's taken me 51 years to get to. And this last year, it's been difficult. And I don't talk to family. And, you know, right now, my daughter is living with my family. I'm just finally getting my bearings back to establishing, so I don't have my daughter with me. And she goes to that church, and I have repeatedly told my family I don't want her to, but I don't want to make it difficult for my daughter, because when I did speak up, it became an issue of me being a bitch and not wanting her to be raised around good people. And so it's been a challenge. It's been a real challenge. So part of my healing was working on this project. And so when I did the podcast first and they talked about Mormons making fun of it, I was like, well, I'm going to check it out. And holy shit. In the first episode, I had to take a break. I had to cleanse. I cried. It was very cathartic. You know, the first one they talked about gay conversion therapy, you know, people's stories on that. And then the second one was where there was when her best friend's husband had gone through gay conversion therapy, but his backstory was about the sexual abuse he encountered in the church. And I want to get into they were very vague. It was very creepy, the sexual abuse he went through. Like, it started when he was 4 till he was 9. And I'll tell you, my sexual abuse started at 4 too. And the only reason I say 4 is because that's as early as I can remember. It probably started earlier. So yeah, it's a little triggering sometimes watching this, but this guy, he talks about like being at church and being pulled away from church with a member and them doing special Sunday school classes. And at first when you listen to it, it sounds like this crazy fantastical story, like this kid made it up, or you want to believe it because it's so fucked up. And he didn't get into too many details, but I've been looking at some of these other stories. There's a whole era of people in Utah specifically that went through ritualistic sexual abuse. And it sounds like the satanic panic, and people are like, no, they're memories that are implanted and things like that. But there's so many of them, of people that have gone through this, and they're having these memories come back, and they're with high-level people of the church, and nobody wants to talk about that. But when I listen to some of these stories, I'm telling you, as a sexual assault survivor, I know. And I applaud these very brave people for speaking up. But he even says in one point, you know, he's talking about how this man is raping him. But at one point, he's taking two. He's taking a boy and a girl. And he talked about how he watched other people from their church wearing their temple garments and raping a 12-year-old girl in front of him, saying this is what you do when you get married. This is not the first time I have heard that. And I was so glad that they put it on this show that is going public, because if you go on podcasts and you listen to people's SSA stories in Utah, this is very common to what people are saying. And this young man has said this, he said this a long time ago, he said it over a decade ago, that this happened, and no one did anything. And then finally, another lady sued him and the church and validated what he had actually done. And it was very powerful for me, you know, and the church hit it. There was another episode where, you know, these 2 young girls, the church failed them so bad. And their attorneys are cunts. McConkey and something, and these are big names in Utah. These motherfuckers, all they give a shit about, this is a true story, this isn't even fiction, all they give a shit about is protecting their name. That is not the Church of Christ. And she said something, so there were 2 things that they said on there. You know, the church is like the kindest, cruelest oh God, what do you say? It's like a plushy toy on the outside with a knife inside. And I was like, that's so fucking true. And then she said, and I could relate to this so much with them. They're like, they're good people there. That's what I was raised on. It's what I love. But shit, my train of thought just left. And the church I love, but the corporation I do believe is evil. And I was like, bingo, that's what it is. It's a corporation. It's a narcissistic institution, and it's built on a deviant that dabbled. And this is so fucking true, guys. It is built by a deviant, the first prophet, who was a con man, who raped children, who dabbled in black magic. Whether you believe in it or not, the fact is, he literally sacrificed. There are documents where he was sacrificing. We're talking in the 1800s. This was a little bit more common. He dabbled, a lot of people dabbled in magic, I'm not gonna lie. Or they call it magic, you know, herbs and things like that. But there's certain levels of magic that are just fucking dark. He and his family, his lineage is from Salem. Those fuckers were the ones that should have been burned to the cross. His family were the ones persecuting the witches, the real people that tell the truth, because of their psychic gifts, because of their intuition, and they could call bullshit on those cunts. That is true. That's not me making up shit. It just goes really well with the story that my heart and my ancestors have been telling me to tell. So, very heavy stuff. And yesterday, you know, when I watched that and I listened to those women, I was like, and then I thought, you know, how afterwards, and I really appreciate Heather Gay. She's very honest. And I felt like her at some point, you know, when people would tell me stories of things like that, I didn't want to hear it. I wasn't ready. Even though I wasn't practicing Mormon, I don't want to believe that a church would allow that. And there's one part where she's sitting there, and I remember thinking it, and I got teary-eyed again, and I'm so glad they captured it on camera, because she's like, I was raised in a cult. And that doesn't take away from a beautiful childhood that I had, or good memories, but the reality is, this church had me believing and supporting people that, and never questioning. You are not allowed to question the prophet whatsoever. You are not. You are not supposed to question your authorities whatsoever. They are called by God. Only a white man, by the way. Occasionally they'll have their token brown folk be a part of. You look at the Quorum of the 12, you look at all of it, it's just all white men. Vanilla. It looks like a Republican convention. And I'm so sure there's so many deviants in there. But, shit, I'm going to have to wrap this up. There was also a part where, in the end, she says, she got a text, and I was like, oh, and I knew it. Boom, 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 little spidey senses, earth angel antenna went on, and I was like, boom, this is the truth. And it was from an escort. Didn't give a name. And he said how he was a professional escort that would cater to many men in high levels of the church, and that he provided a safe space. And I don't really, I'm not about I don't really give a shit if they're gay or not. I really don't. I wish that they would live their truth. But these are the people that are spending millions of tithes for, you know, against the proposition for gay marriage. That they never should have done that as a religion. You know, these are the men that tell people they can be gay, but they can't be in relationships. It's just a very fucked up thing. So yes, I believe that that is very likely, and they said that it include people up into the general authorities, which I don't doubt. The last prophet covered up his sister's name being called in a sexual assault abuse. And so when you listen to the SSA, which is, they call it satanic sexual ritualistic sexual abuse, I'm sorry, RSA. Many women are even involved. It's disgusting. You read the stories and you think there's no fucking way, this is so gross. But why and how would they be so consistent? And I know I would hate to tell that story, but I would have to if it had happened to me. And so I applaud the people that have the courage enough to speak it out. But it's ugly here. And the reason why I'm in Utah telling this story, apparently, because it's really, really ugly here. That part of the history. And there are good people here. I love the Mormon people. It's part of why I tell this story, because I want them to see what they're involved in without their consent, and stop making fun of people and thinking it's hilarious. Oh, I survived Mormonism. You have no idea how fucking dark it is. Just because you weren't fucking in, how do you know your kids won't be? So, very heavy stuff. I woke up at 3 in the morning. Let's see what time it is. Oh shit. I woke up at 3:30 in the morning. And checked some tarot, and one of them, Estrella, one of the storytellers, I love her, but like some dark, heavy magic was happening, and I was like, of course it is, because, you know, a lot is being exposed right now, and not just fictionally. I mean, a lot is being exposed. All the emails and all the things that are happening in the world, like there's so much going on right now. And the demons, even though this is a fictional story, but it does feel like darkness has taken over this world, thinking that it can win. You have billionaires that are hoarding when people are starving. It is like the end times. And these people are, you know, you see the Republican Party literally justifying or saying it's not that bad because they weren't 8 years old. You know, tying a 13-year-old virgin to the bed and raping her is pretty fucking disgusting, Meghan R. Kelly. Would you be okay with that if Trump did that to your daughter? It's disgusting. That's where we're at right now. So, but the good thing is, in order for us to expel this shitty, evil, demonic stuff, it has to be exposed. And that's what's happening in the world right now. I mean, it's literally going to happen. At least in the Earth Angel novella, it's the purging of evilness. So we're in the year 9, shedding old skins, and these motherfuckers have to go, and they are hanging on for dear life, but fuck you very much, you gots to go. Anyway, I'm gonna read this real quick, and then I gotta go because I've got to get to work. Your soul purpose, and this is from Light is the New Black, my thrift shop find. For as long as I can remember, I was in a rush to grow up and get working on my soul purpose. When I was little, my favorite question was, where are we going today? Even when I was searching for this thing I knew I had to find, eternally looking for the perfect black and white answer to the question, what is my purpose? To be honest, the whole soul purpose thing stressed me out. It felt like a big decision to make, the type that hangs over you until you do it. But I was petrified that I might miss my life or get it wrong. The deeper I got into my career, the more trapped I felt. I searched all corners of the world for the perfect thing for me to do in order to play my part in leaving the world a little bit brighter with my presence. Spending many years waiting around for a perfectly plotted out, single-minded plan to be miraculously revealed in full and land smack bang in my lap. And when I actually got pretty clear glimpses of what it could be, I longed for some external person to confirm that I had it right and to give me a permission to get on with it. I was so in my head, weighing up, pondering, and questioning all the possible paths, petrified I might choose the wrong one. I was stuck in inaction. I was waiting to be handed the map of from the big G himself before I set off along my perfect path. I thought it was all about striving and doing, not being and embodying. Yeah, this is me and my Earth Angel project. Throughout my own delusion, time wasted, and working with loads of women who feel the same, I have come to the conclusion that our soul purpose comes down to two things. First, be the light. To be the light, you need to follow the things that light you up, so you can show up in life and fill up and whole. You can show up in life filled up and whole. You don't need a special job to be the light. In fact, you don't need a job at all. You can be the light at the grocery store. You can be the light while cooking dinner. You can be the light on the world's most boring conference call. You can be the light while updating your Facebook status or doing crazy videos. You can be the light by being there for a friend or a stranger who needs a smile. And number two, this is important. Be authentically you. There is no perfect path, only a perfect, authentic you. Full of contradictions, uniqueness, and gifts. It is your you-ness that allows you to truly light up the world with your presence. Your you-ness in lifetimes in the making. It is your flaws, your quirks, your weirdness, your ancestral history, your gifts, your humor, and your imperfections. Your light and message will come through you regardless of what path you choose. Your authentic self emerges when you follow what lights you up, or in other words, when you do what you love, and then do it in a way that only you can. Our soul is always calling us towards what will light us up. Our ego tries to trick us into thinking that it has to be more complicated. It can't understand how it could be so simple as following what lights us up. But when we follow what we love over and over again, we stumble upon our calling without even realizing it. When we lose ourselves in the doing, we step out of the way and allow the light to flow through us. And it feels fucking fantastic. She said freaking. I've spent years trying to work out what my purpose is, trying to fit into a perfect little box with a step-by-step plan before I would even consider taking the leap. I look at my strengths, I listed my gifts, I tried to work out the message my soul wanted to share, but still, I held back because I couldn't see every single little step along the way. I wanted to know the final destination before I took the first step. All of the possibilities, purposes, and callings would toss and turn in my head, but I was not acting on any one of them. I was waiting by the phone for the universe to call, saying, "Hey girl, so this is your purpose." The amount of time I spent pondering whether I should be a writer, an actor, a life coach, a healer, an artist, a director, or a fashion designer is absolutely ridiculous. It doesn't matter if I write books, bake cakes, make movies, design cowboy boots, or tap dance on a piano. It doesn't matter if I take photos, do speeches, run a country, teach kids, paint pictures, write comedy, or host a TV show. As long as it lights me up. I will bring my own unique light to everything that I do. The only thing that matters is doing the things that light you up over and over and again, and letting the light shine authentically through you. Following the trail of things that light you up and lose yourself in the doing. Before long, you will find yourself right in the center of your purpose and the life that you are called to live. Work your light. Are you waiting for... Okay, let me keep it there. Work your light. Are you waiting for a perfect sign from the universe to tell you what your soul purpose is? What can you lose yourself in because you love doing it so much? My Earth Angel project. I love it. My healing journey, my spiritual journey. I didn't even know what the fuck I was doing. And I every day it helps me heal. And I'm hoping that by sharing it with others, it'll help others heal. All right, even where people came from afar to bask in her light. I really hope that. I hope to be that light someday. All right, I got to wrap it up because I've got to get to work. But if anyone is watching, thank you for being a part of my spiritual journey. And I encourage you to take your own spiritual journey, go on your own spiritual recovery. That looks different for everyone, but don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of even what's happening here in the world. Trust that the universe has our back. And that, as crazy as it is, it's exactly the way it's supposed to be. Do not fear, because that's what those motherfuckers want from us, is to fear into submission. And fuck you very much. Darkness will get the fuck out of the White House, get the fuck out of the world. I really do believe that. So hang in there. Shine that light. Love you.